Hello everyone and welcome back to Divine's Inspirations. I wanted to come on here and do a quick message from Spirit for this 10/10 portal and as we move into eclipse season starting towards the end of this month. One message Spirit gave me specifically focused on, this is going to be a one card read. There are 3 cards out here, but there are 3 different depictions of the same card. That card is the 8 of Swords. As we're moving into these portals, it's important to understand that every time we approach a portal, so you have the 10/10, you got the 11/11, which is Lion's Gate starting next month. You got 12/12, 1/1 in January, 2/2 in February, so on and so forth. We have those portals that occur every month, right? As you enter those portals, the easiest thing to remember about them is that they are a time to release and a time to receive. Time for you to release what no longer serves you and leave your heart, your mind, your spirit, your energetic being open to Spirit sending in, the universe sending in, God sending in, your higher self sending in what is in divine alignment with you at this season of your life, whether that's your healing journey, whether that is your spiritual journey in general. Okay, so as we enter and exit these seasons, the reason I think Spirit gave me this 8 of Swords is because the 8 of Swords is often where we all either are right now, or we've been in several points in our lives, or if we haven't been there, you will be there. So when you think about the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Swords is number one is swords, is air. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. It's all about the head. It's all about your thoughts, what you think. So it is more of this victimized thought process, feeling trapped, disempowered, stuck, helpless, imprisoned, or paralyzed. I feel like I don't have control over my circumstances. That can be romantic, that can be in my personal endeavors, that can be in my business endeavors, that can be in my financial endeavors. The list goes on. It's across the board, right? You have the power to free yourself. I'm going to read this card so you get the message here. So this specific card, I have 3 cards out here. I'm going to read all 3 of them. I like this one because it is more in alignment with the one that's in the Lenormand deck. I don't have a Lenormand deck, but this one aligns a little bit more with the visual that you find in the Lenormand deck. There's a woman with swords around her, a blindfold on. The swords are spread enough apart where she can walk through them if she wants. And the blindfold is damn near loose. You can just pull it off, right? She has the ability to free herself. So it says, the illusion of entrapment, a lack of self-confidence that makes you feel helpless, being afraid to take action. Take responsibility for your life now. Let me read the other 2 depictions and interpretations of this card. It says, you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. And how can you see things clearly with that blindfold on? Right? And then you have to ask yourself, what is my blindfold? What is that thing that's keeping me stuck? What is it? Who is it? And then the last interpretation says, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Now in this depiction, so in this depiction you have the woman opening the gate and freeing herself. The blindfold, the sword is out, the gate is open, she's finally taking the blindfold out off of her eyes and walking through the gates, right? She's freeing herself from those self-limited beliefs. And this one, the angel, Archangel Michael, is with this person. I hope you guys can see these. And they are helping them, guiding them to free themselves from that situation. And in this last depiction, you have 8 unicorns. Unicorns are mythical, magical beings. What do they look like bound? I've never seen a unicorn in any illustration of one where they're not free, where they're not flying, when they're not just in this magical state of being. You are a mythical, magical being. You are supposed to be free. You're not supposed to be bound, not by your thoughts, not by anybody else's thoughts about you, not by anybody else's expectations of you. Okay? So as we're looking at these cards, what is limiting you? What is binding you? What is your blindfold? Is it circumstances? Is it self-limiting beliefs? Is it a negative mindset or a lack of faith or resources? Remove the blindfold. Ask yourself, what is my blindfold right now? What is keeping me chained to the false narrative that I continue to allow to play in my mind about myself? Because it's a false narrative. These cards say that it is. It's a self-imposed false narrative, a self-imposed mindset. And when we think about how we even arrived at that point, how do we even get ourselves in that mental space about ourselves? 10 times out of 10, it was because of some childhood trauma or wounding. It was because of words that a toxic spouse or friend, or boss or anybody spoke to us, spoke over us repeatedly, that we started to receive that. We programmed ourselves to believe that that was true. It's not true. You are a magical being, free, capable, so purposeful, purpose-filled. Walk in that energy. And I'll tell you a quick story. Like around this, once a year, I try to take this time out I pick a month during, and it's usually in the fall because it's the changing of the seasons and stuff like that. I usually take a month out where I pull back, go into hermit mode on purpose to pull myself away from everything and everybody. I don't watch a lot of TV during that time. I may listen to some meditation music and things like that. But for the most part, I try to be as still and as quiet as I possibly can. And I let whatever purge needs to happen with me. Whatever messages Spirit needs to bring to me, I let Spirit bring those messages to me. And it's about me, about things in me that need to be changed, healed, cleansed, broken, released. So a few days ago, I'm in that space now. So a few days ago, I'm purging. I'm crying, just over things that Spirit is revealing to me about myself. Most of it is always good, but sometimes it's that painful truth about, okay, this is the part where you need to be broken. This is where you need to grow. This is where you need to heal. This is where you need to let go. And I was in this Eight of Swords space right here. And Spirit is telling me, this is not you. This is not your truth. This is not your true existence. So mind you, everything I'm saying about Spirit telling me, I'm telling it to you because Spirit is telling it to you too. That's why I'm on here giving this message. So I'm sitting there and I'm crying that day. I get up, I sit up in my bed, and from where my bedroom is, the apartment that I live in, you have the patio has 2 accesses. I can go in through the sunroom, or I can go out through my bedroom. So I keep bird feeders. I love nature, love seeing hummingbirds and all that stuff. I keep bird feeders and stuff out there. And I'm up one day, eyes full of tears. I'm looking out on the patio. There's a cardinal out there, female cardinal. For those of you who don't know, the male cardinal is the bright red. And the female cardinal is the one that's not as bright and vibrant in color. But she's out there. And she's going around, pecking around for food. And I looked a little bit closer and I realized, I'm like, oh, that's a little odd. She's kind of close to the ground. She's moving kind of awkwardly. She's kind of close to the ground for a bird. And I watched her a little bit longer, and I know she only had one leg. The bird only had one leg. And I started to feel sorrowful for her. Like, oh, what could have happened to her? I mean, I can pray easily get to her and things like that. And I started to victimize her. And so Spirit immediately stepped in and gave me 2 messages about that bird. Spirit said, talking about her having one leg, it does not stop her from showing up, and it does not stop her from flying. So I want to say to you, I don't care what your challenge is. I don't know what situation you're facing. I don't care if it's self-imposed. I don't care if it's posed on you by somebody else. It is meant to help you fly, not stop you from flying. It is meant to help you find the strength to keep showing up for yourself. Whatever you got to do, however you got to do it. If you got to limp along like that bird did, guess what? She was getting fed. I'm sitting there feeling sorry for her. Old girl was out there getting it in. She was getting her feed. And I saw her 2, 3, 4 more days back to back. Didn't stop her from showing up, and it didn't stop her from flying. We don't have any excuse either. Use what looks like a disability, what looks like something that is paralyzing you, disenabling you. Use it for power. Turning your pain into power, your pain into purpose. You are not stuck. You are not paralyzed. You are not incapable of moving past whatever it is you're dealing with that makes you great. You're not. And that turned my mind in a whole other direction that day and the days to follow. And I keep remembering that anytime I think to get even an inkling of negative thought in my head about something, to disempower myself. Spirit is like, if that bird ain't got no excuse. With one, she got one leg, but she got 2 wings. Use with your gifts, use your talents, let me tell you 2 powers you have. Can't nobody take from you unless you give it to them. You got your voice and you got your story. You got all the power you need in those 2 things. Can't nobody tell your story because ain't nobody lives your story. Can't nobody take your voice unless you give them the power to silence you. Don't let challenges silence you. Don't let whatever words or afflictions that other people, narratives that they have painted for you. Use the power of your voice to tell your story yourself. That is why these portals open up. They are portals of opportunity. They are portals to purpose. They are portals that open the pathway to new experiences for you to be able to do just that. You got to make the choice to be free. And when you make the choice to be free, you got your angels right here. We're going to guide you. We ain't going to just put you on the path, drop you in the middle of nowhere and leave you. We're going to guide you on that path. Because we want you to be your beautiful, magical, mythical self. Everybody has a story. Can't nobody tell your story like you. Because ain't nobody lived your story like you. So my challenge to you today, because today is the start of the 1010 portal. And I think we move like, as you're in these portals, you have like a week or up to 2 weeks where you're in that, the strength of that energy. 10 days. I challenge you to take 10 minutes for 10 days and dedicate that time to you. Spiritual development, spiritual growth. These portals are about introspect. They are about going within. They are about cleansing the soul, the mind, the spirit. That is what they are about. And they are resets for the path forward. As you release, you're resetting. And you are resetting yourself on a higher vibration. Okay? So, in that 10 days, how will you choose to give yourself that time? Whether it's 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of quiet time. Cut the TV off, turn your phone off. 10 minutes, quiet stillness. Keep your mind quiet, keep your mind still. And sometimes that can be hard to do. But one way you can do that is, sometimes people like to close their eyes and they'll focus on a candle. Think that that's one of the simplest forms of meditation and connecting with them. Think about the candle and focus on the flame of that candle. Focus on this beam of light that's bursting from the sky, goes down into the earth, goes down from the top of your head down to your root chakra and down into the earth, connecting you with all that is, with the heavens and the earth. Think about that. Focus on yourself being that person sitting there receiving all of that light code energy. All of those divine downloads. 10 minutes out of the day. Or say a mantra to yourself in that 10 minutes. And keep your mind focused on that mantra. I love you. You're amazing. Great things are in store for you. You're capable. You are free. And use I am or you are statements. Not I am not free. I am not or I am not stuck. I am not incapable. Speak to yourself as though you know I am free. I am capable. I am doing great things. My story does matter. I am changing the lives of others with my story, with my energy, with my gifts, with my talents. Journal. You can journal over the course of that 10 days for 10 minutes. You can write out a list of things you're grateful for over that 10 days for 10 minutes. You can take a nature walk for 10 days for 10 minutes. Use that time. It's only 10 minutes. And it's your time. If you don't give yourself nothing else for 10 days, give yourself that. And then as we move into the next portal, which is the 1111 Lionsgate portal, go back, especially if you've journaled and stuff like that. And I do encourage you to journal over this time. So you go back, you journal what you've said, you journal what you've done, you journal what you've experienced. And then compare it. Compare it to where you are from 1010 to 1111. Because as you put those things into practice and you program your mind and your soul and your heart with those things, you are moving up the vibrational ladder. You're moving that needle for yourself, whether you believe it or not. That's exactly what you're doing. Okay? So in this moment, what Spirit wants you to focus on is the power of your freedom and what you're doing with that freedom. When we think about this Eight of Swords, we always see people talking about the person being trapped, the person being stuck, the person not moving, the person not having confidence. What we don't talk about is like as she's walking through that gate, to me, it's like you open the door to value. She's opening the door to value. Nobody ever moves into the conversation about what she finds on the other side of that door to value. And rightfully so, because it's up to you as the receiver of the message to determine what that is. So when you become free, what does freedom look like for you? What does that freedom look like? What does financial freedom look like for you? What does emotional freedom look like for you? If I'm free from sickness and pain and hurt and heartache and whatever challenge that you are faced with right now, if I were free from that, what would my day-to-day look like? What would it look like? Sometimes we don't even take the opportunity. We want the freedom. We want the love. We want the finances. We want the blessings. We want all that good stuff. But we can't even fathom enough to imagine what it even looks like. Start to imagine what it looks like and watch how much shows up for you. Write it down. And if every time you write it down, you go back and read it, because I'm going to tell you, as you're on this journey and you continue to move up the vibrational ladder for yourself, you continue to connect more with divine source, divine spirit. You continue to connect more with a more like-minded spiritual community. Some of the stuff you thought you wanted is going to change. Pay attention to that. That means you want less. I'm all for money. I don't ever knock nobody getting more money, getting love, and whatever you want in life. But I do knock when we think that's the albeit, that if I get the right man, the right woman, the right amount of money, the big house, the big car, I'm going to be happy. No, you're not. You got people out here making millions and they miserable as hell, and they got that. So I want us to focus on what that freedom looks like for me. How does it fulfill me? If I could wake up every day and live the life of my dreams, from morning to the time I lay my ass back down at night, what does that look like? What does it look like for my children? What does it look like for my husband? What does it look like? Start to write that story. Start to feed that narrative to yourself and watch what happens. That's what the other side of that door to value looks like for you. And sometimes I think what keeps us stuck is the fact we don't know what that is. I think that the thing that holds us back, that keeps us in this fearful state, that keeps us paralyzed, is I don't know what's on the other side of that gate. I don't know if I go out there and I attempt this thing or go after this dream or this goal, if it's going to be a success. And if I fail, I don't have another plan. So what do I do? So we stay here because it feels safe, even though we know it's not. Even though we know it's not. So moving into this next portal, I want you, like I said, take that 10 days. Choose however you want to dedicate that 10 days to you. Your spiritually best self for that 10 days. Whatever practice you want to incorporate. Do that. Do it. And take note of it. You don't have to do no long, drawn out, Aaliyah 12-page letter journal thing. Make quick notes. You understand. Nobody's reading your stuff. You understand it. Make quick notes about what's transpiring within you, what emotions you're feeling in that 10 days, what good is going on in that 10 days, what you're picking up in that meditation time in that 10 days, what you're seeing in your nature walks. And when you're out on the nature walk and connecting with the energy of God in all of creation, don't just be out there walking. Take it all in. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What birds, what animals, what insects, what are you seeing? And then look up the spiritual meanings. Look for those angel numbers and stuff. And look up the meanings, because those are messages that divine is trying to give you. Write those messages down. And when you get to the 1111 portal, think about what you learned, what you gained from 1010 to 1111. I promise you it's going to surprise you. I guarantee you it's going to surprise you. And I'm going to come back and maybe do another reading like this this is just short and sweet because this is a message the Spirit gave me and I really wanted to share that because of how it affected me. But I want to start doing these one card reads because sometimes we look at these readings and you guys come in here and you hear us as readers tell me, oh, well, this is what the 8 of Cups mean. This is what the 9 of Cups mean. Da, 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 da. You just go with the story. But I like these because they give you kind of a little bit more depth in how it applies to you. So the Spirit gives me these messages. I'm more than willing to share them. And I hope that they resonate. I hope that they continue to resonate. As I build my channel, it's not going to always be where you don't see me on video. I will start to show on video and stuff. But that's for the future. But anyway, I really hope this message resonates. I hope you take something from it. I hope, if anything, now you see these portals, like I said, it's something that you can connect with. Because we hear all this talk about, and all this elaborate talk about spirituality and all this terminology and all this, these astronomical explanations that everybody cannot resonate with. So I really believe in breaking some of this stuff down to layman's terms and all this stuff. I'm a metaphysical practitioner. I don't really, like I said, I don't use that credential. In this space, I don't think I need to. Some of the knowledge, yes, but I usually don't tell people what credentials I have. I don't think it's important. I just hear being me, So my credentials don't make me me. I was me before I got them. So anyway, I'm going to be doing some more readings for each sign. I've actually not been feeling good, so I'm going to start back doing some more readings for each sign, maybe starting next week. I may get into it this week, but start some stuff for the month of November and some other stuff coming up. But anyway, I hope that this message resonates. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.